Welcome to Valor and Virtue. I'm Jim Danielson. With us today is Sergeant Major Joe Houle, United States Marine Corps retired. Sergeant Major Houle is Director of Operations at Carolina Museum of the Marine Grace Civic Institute. And we'd like to begin by asking you a little bit about yourself.
Well, good morning, Jim.
Good morning, sir. How'd you become a Marine?
Well, my family was knew this we were going to support my country all while I was growing up. I lost 3 uncles in World War II. My dad served in World War II. He was shot down twice in the B-17s during World War II. So I knew when I was old enough that I was going to service. Did I know I was going to join the Marine Corps? No, I didn't. I quit school when I was 16 to help raise worked on the farm because my dad had a heart murmur. When I turned 18, I was going to join the service. I went down to join the Air Force. But because I didn't graduate from high school, I passed the GED but they wouldn't take me. So he went back and told the Marines I got a live one. A Marine sergeant showed up in my front door, and I sat 34 years later as a Marine.
Excellent. I would like to know how you became a sergeant major.
Wow.
I was a corporal, so sergeant major is a pretty big deal, right?
It is. It is. I throughout my career, I had many mentors. And I took a little bit from each mentor to be able to lead and train and teach Marines. I loved, as a young Marine, leading Marines in combat. And then once I got to do that, my feeling was if I could train Marines to survive in a combat situation, that's what I wanted to do for the rest until I retired. I had some very good leaders that I worked for over the years. And my goal was, when I was a 20-year mark, the family and I sat down and said, all right, are we going to stay for 30 or are we going to get out at 20? And as a family, we decided that I would stay for the 30-year mark, as long as the Marine Corps would have me. But then I also said to the family, my goal then would be the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. That was my goal back at 20 years. And I kept transferring here and there. I got to go to England with the Royal Marines. The billets that I've had put me in the position to become a Sergeant Major. And then I selected for Sergeant Major in '89. I was given a billet in Marine Forces Panama. And then from there, Maintenance Battalion, and it just grew, took them to war, and ended up at Marine Forces Atlantic with General Pace, and I did get the interview to be the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps in '99. Of course, I didn't make it, but I got close.
Excellent. You know, you were a senior drill instructor at Parris Island. One of the things that we think about and talk about here at the Institute is the contribution the Marine Corps can make to producing good Americans and good citizens. And you were surely involved in that as a drill instructor, taking these young people into Parris Island and making Marines out of them. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That's very rewarding. I didn't realize how rewarding that was until I got down there to be on the street, to be able to take a civilian off the street and mold him or her. Of course, I only had hymns to the Marines. However, to be able to take that young individual, that young American that has 2 left feet, and turn him into a position, somebody that's going to get out and do great things in the world. I learned more from them as they learned from me about myself and about other people. because you're with all over the world, different kind of people. So
Here in in Jacksonville, around Camp Lejeune, there are a lot of retired Marines and sailors, and there's a lot of people involved in what we would say is civic virtue and civic behavior, and you were certainly foremost among those. Would you talk a little bit about the kinds of things we do in this community to make it a good community?
well, you got to get involved. And the people that are involved in this community get involved with their churches, the ball games, civic different organizations and things. But you got to get involved to take. I wanted to give back when I retired out of the Marine Corps. I wanted to give back from the people who give me over my whole years to give back to the community, and that's what we do in this community. We help other people to take care of other people.
Excellent. You know, this is the last question. It seems a fitting one for what we do. You're a Marine, without doubt. What does our Corps have to say to Americans about our country and how to love it and improve it?
The Marines, to say to our country is, I said it a few minutes ago, is they need to get involved. They need to support the Constitution, the civics and stuff that goes on in our country. We do not teach our young folks today how to be a good American. They do not teach them anything. They don't even teach them what's right from wrong. But that's what we need to get involved. We need to get back to the basics that our forefathers had taught us, why it made America great to begin with.
Yes. Sergeant Major Joe Houle, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me today.